entertained by the show called Pop, so they drop the knowledge on all the latest thoughts from comics and movies, games and TV shows. All right, this is Pops, and I will be the first to tell you that I am not enjoying most modern comic books, and one of the main reasons is the lack of art detail, the depth, the attention to things in the background, giving us a lot of character, emotions. We get a lot of oh, paint by numbers, a lot of pastel colors, characters that don't have a lot of facial features. They have dots for eyes or no mouth. And just, I just really can't stand some of the digital art style that's being done. And I really found this example. This is literally just a random, this is Captain America and Namor. So if you are not familiar with this book, don't feel bad because this is literally just some random book. I wanted to illustrate that this random book from 2012, look at the detail just on the cover of the tank, the amount of space that's used with the flag in the background, the silhouette of Cap right here. This is an artist called Will Conrad. And no offense to Will Conrad. Okay. Don't know Will Conrad's work really. Not a big part of my life or anything like that. It's not like he's out there. I got a whole box of material dedicated to him or anything like that. I don't mean any disrespect. I just don't think he's the name or top of anything that someone's thinking about when they talk about comic book art. But I wanted to go through just the immense detail that we get in this World War II story. Now, this is just some random story, 635.1. Don't know why they did point ones, by the way. I think it's just completely stupid. But look right out of the gate. Look at this secondary character in the background here, this soldier right here. His facial expressions, the concern that he's having, the fear that's in his eyes is coming to life. First, it's set up a little bit here with Cap talking to them, trying to encourage them. And then you have this shot. And you don't have to even read the dialogue to know what's going on, right? You see him giving them a pep talk. You see their emotions and how they have fear. You see him lead the way by jumping out and going head first. Like no one else is come out of the plane yet, right? Here's Cap jumping. I think this is incredible. Look at the detail in the background with these jets coming at him. They're flying right at him. He knows. Look at the detail right here with his eyes, the concentration, the detail of him cutting the net, the connection for his parachute straps right here. And of course, all of the highlighting, the inking is just beautiful work all along the way with these books. Why did I pick this book? I didn't pick this book because of some great book or great story. It's just some standalone thing. Here's Namor showing up. And again, pectoral muscles, details in the abs, details in his thighs. Everything's a lot of motion, a lot of movement, and every detail is filled in. We don't have some random block of just color. Now, there's not a lot of detail in some of the ways because we're talking about an aerial action sequence, but at least there's some things that are filled in around it. It's not just these hodgepodge of plain blank dead space. All right, let me jump ahead again here. So this is, the Hydra room, right? Look at the detail. Look at all of the art. All of the devices have electronics and gears and buttons, all the stuff underneath the table. All of these contraptions and stuff are here. Their boots, the rocks on the ground are kind of detailed in, highlighted, and given some texture. You love the fact that even the rock right here next to this guy's face has little indentations of where the steps and stuff had been carved away. This is why so many of us don't have patience for a bunch of bland, hollow-looking nonsense. All right, so case in point, this is Namor. This is issue number 2 from the 2024, the new series. I have not read this. Look at the cover. We have Namor bent over backwards under this little tiny girl. Here you go. Aren't you excited? Don't you want to pick this up? Jason Aaron wrote this, so I can just tell you what's going to be female power, right? Let's get to the story. Let's get to the art a little bit. You can see a lot more detail than a lot of books have, but again, look at the right. All of this dead space. Tons and tons of just graphic, digital art, graphic design with no details. Over and over again, okay? Now, there are pages like this that have a lot more to it, and we should give credit where credit's due, right? This is Paul Davidson and Alex Lins, 2 artists. Don't know exactly, don't think it designates who does what pages, but we'll get to that. So we kind of cruise along, and this is about as high definition and detailed as you're going to get with a lot of modern books, because you can see Namor at least has some definition and details on his hands, his face, the movement is there. This guy, the hair is here, but notice like every single time It's all underwater, no details, not a lot of stuff, a lot of dead space. Then you get shots like this. Look at this whole page. Look at that whole page. See, I get it. I like the movement right here, even though his face looks a little weird and the proportions of his hand are a little strange and off to me. But look at all this, all of that. Then you come down and then you end up with like chaos of details. You have like so much stuff going on. I don't exactly know why I needed King Atuma and all these people here, but that's fine. It's okay. They at least do have a lot of personality and detail compared to other books. So this is as good as it's going to get in a lot of ways. Now again, notice how Namor doesn't look the same. He's snarling now, so he has completely different. This Namor looks completely different than our Namor way up here. Look at this Namor. See, the snarl starts here, but when you go back here, the beginning, very effeminate face and jawline and features right there, and here, right? So it's so inconsistent, and you get so frustrated because you don't ever really get attached to characters because they don't even look alike in the same book. They have all these crazy different features that don't even add up. They just look different. So all in all, as good as this book is, you know what I mean? As good as this can get. See, again, I know it's like over a hot pop shirt, exaggerate. I am a little, right? Because look, compare this to what was happening before with all those different soldiers and all the different things that were happening. They kind of like threw in a little here, a little shading, but then there's just nothing really there. You can just tell it's very digital. There's no real, I don't know, it just feels like fake art to me. I know that sounds like a silly way. And then it starts. You end up with panels like this one. This panel looks so cheap. It's got pieces, I think, like are copied from like he draws this and copies and puts it in here and features. But look at this. There's no detail at all. Just no back. There's just stuff, but there's no real details in any of those things. They show the backs of their heads, right? They do a close-up shot. And this is the blood. Now I want to ask you, if this shot had been in the other book from 2012, how much better would it have looked? How much more detail? How many more cross hatchings would we have seen? How much more pencil depth would we have seen if we had that kind of blood and we had those kind of details, right? That's what I'm talking about. I don't feel as connected to this book as I felt to the old one. That's really what I'm trying to get at. And again, this is the best I could find. Like was quickly was to find something that's better than most books. Because this is like the flashback to Namor and stuff. It's like little kid Namor, little girl Namor. It's just like look at this shot right here. He's in shadows. This is him. Look at this. Look, no details at all. Just a couple little lines. Again, I think they switched artists. Like you get to do this part, and I'll do that part. That's how I feel. They switched up. Maybe they did. It doesn't work. It takes me out of the moment. I mean, I get that you can do a flashback and you can have a different style and whatever. But look at this. He doesn't even have. I mean, he has no nose at all here. He's got like an Asian feel with giant pointy. It's like so phoned in, right here on this shot. And this is even worse. There's just nothing. There's no features at all. Look at these characters in the background. There's just nothing there. It's completely hollow and empty. See, they can give you some good panels and they can do good work on a few panels, but it seems like they just can't put together the whole piece of art. They can't. Here's another shot. I thought, look at how different he looks in this shot compared to the earlier ones. And then again, wasted space. Here's the kiss. Oh, I feel so alive when Kaylani kisses me. And there's just no background. You don't think you would zoom in for the effect? You don't think you would have a shot and then maybe zoom in and have a close-up shot or something? Nope. Nope. We waste a complete panel with this. Look at all the dead space here. Look at all the dead space there. Shadows and black. Dead space. No details. Oh, I'm sure I've made my point enough. And I know it's old guy complaining. It's a guy yelling at the clouds. They're not going to change their ways. Why do you bother, Pops? I said, I don't know why I bother. I just want more people to understand that when we're complaining, because we're children of the 80s and 90s, or even older, 70s and 80s and 90s, even into the early 2000s, the book I chose was from 2012. That's almost just over 10 years. Look at how radically the approaches are changed. It's so much more focus on quick and dirty digital art without any real emotion and depth. It doesn't connect you as much because it doesn't feel like the real world as much. That's my point. I don't think I care as much about even good stories sometimes because the art, it gets so bad that it takes me out of that. Like I know people loved Ultimate X-Men. I just could not get into the art. The art was so distracting for me. Oh, it's kind of got anime influence. That's fine. Then maybe it doesn't belong in an Ultimate X-Men book. Maybe it doesn't belong with the superhero universe that Marvel is known for, or put it more front and center. Don't give me this 90s style cover and then I open it up and it's that. That's where I'm at with some of this stuff. This is why Marvel's completely tanking to me. Like, what am I supposed to buy when this is what I get? I can go back to 2012, probably $1 Ben, and find someone who's got Captain America and Namor for like a couple bucks versus spending cover price, which is 2, 3, 4, 5 or more off a new book that's full of all this digital art, this hollowness, this emptiness. That's why they're failing. That's my take on it. So, anyway, you guys can beat me up a little bit. Tell me that I'm right or not. Let me know. Take care, everybody. I'm Pops.